some more lorries for the barley this morning, spring barley. So all of the barley is out of the grain store now, and it's gone down the road to be made into beer. And I've come down to the marshes today. We're down at the Broads, and I've been mowing today. So I've just stopped, pulled over for a minute to have my lunch, and now we're back mowing. So I'll just flick the switch on, PTO. Yeah, very, very impressed with this tractor so far. Can't believe it, just like my old one, with auto power, 50k gearbox. It's the later one, 2011, so a little bit later than the one we used to have. You've got that lovely 6-cylinder, 6.8 litre PowerTech engine. I mean, so reliable, so easy to fix and maintain. It's got the auto power gearbox again, which a lot of people say on the 10 series and 20 series the auto power was never quite right. And then on the 30s and the R's they sorted out the auto power, especially with this one because it was one of the later 6.9s, one of the last ones. So they've ironed out a lot of the problems with them. And they're so simple, they're so reliable, these old tractors, anyone can fix them. I mean, I've got it here running at 1800 RPM. I mean, it's really economical actually for such a powerful tractor. No ad balloon to worry about or anything like that. Just out through the straight pipe and off into the atmosphere. You know, just the way it should be if you ask me personally. But I know a lot of people like the more modern stuff with ad balloon and all the rest of it. But yeah, pretty comfortable tractor as well considering its age. It rides really well. I think that's partly down to the big tyres that it's got on it. It's got the exterior bibs. I did reduce a little bit of the tyre pressure on it yesterday. We're now running at about 20 psi on the front and rear. It's running at about 20 psi. And I've got a couple of plans for this tractor. That wing mirror is broken. The other wing mirror is alright. But I am ordering today some replacement wing mirrors, which are the more modern John Deere ones, which will hang down, so I'll have two mirrors to look at. And I'm also going to order in the spring. I've looked at the tyres, they'll do for another year or two yet, hopefully, the exterior bibs, but we're going to buy some BKTs for it, hopefully, which are called the V-Flecto. So we're going to put some 710 V-Flectos on the rear, 600s or 650s on the front. They're the only other tyre I can find which will fit these rims. They're a really unique type of rim. There's not many tyres which will go on them. The other thing as well I'd like to do is take the rims off when we do the tyres. I'll have the shot glass repainted at Ella. I'm going to have the front grille shot glass repainted at Ella as well. The bonnet is going to be resprayed. And other than that, I've got a floor mat to go in here as well. I did price up a new Brahma seat because the seat's got a bushing which has gone on it, but they want 1,800 quid for a new seat. The exterior bib tyres are £5,000 each. So, and with the fronts they're £3,000 each, so you're talking £16,000 just in tyres. So that's why I'm looking at BKTs now, they're a little bit cheaper. But yeah, things are expensive, especially when you're looking at the exterior bib, but they are like cream of the cream Rolls Royce tyres, exterior bibs. So we'll go with the cheaper BKTs. And as a second tractor, BKTs will be fine on this tractor, so they are the V-Flectos, so it should be alright. So anyway, silage is being cut. It's a lovely sunny day, we've got a week of good weather, and can't really argue too much to be honest. So I'll get down here tonight and tomorrow and start rowing up some of the headlands, get baling in. I'll put this on the baler when I get home, and then the John Deere 615 can come down with a front loader and pick up the bales, and then this will go home once it's baled it and go on the wrapper. Alright, today we've been mowing, now we're baling. So we've baled nearly 100 bales today, this afternoon. Once I've mowed the grass silage at lunchtime, and as you can see I've got my earbud in because the exhaust is so loud with the 6.9 it will make you deaf, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. So yeah, she's singing a tune, I suppose you could say, and we're dropping a few more bales out this evening. I don't think we'll get it all done tonight. We'll get back tomorrow. We'll certainly finish up tomorrow. But we've been having a good crack this afternoon on the baler, and it works really well on the baler, this tractor, because it's got a auto-power transmission. Hopefully you can pick it up on the camera, but there's the gearbox anyway. So just put the door down, go along, you can wind it up on the wheel, infinitely variable, and right back on the wheel to slow down. So it's a bit like an automatic car, or like a bit like a hydrostatic transmission, but it's hydro-mechanical, and it works really, really well on the baler, I've noticed, because you can adjust your speed on the go like that instantly, and for some reason it just works really, really well on the baler. So I can wind it back down now. Bale's ready. Bale will pop out. Some people, they'll have a high range on it, they'll put it on like, they'll put it say 8, and then they'll have it on 4, something like that, to get going. That's another way you can play it. Another bale going up there. This is great as well. Palm control for the hydraulic SCVs. Never had one of these before, works really nicely on the baler. So forwards we go. I'll have it in the lower range, and then if you want to speed up, you can go into your higher range, which you can preset to say 10k. And then when you're ready to drop the bale out, you can just drop back down to the snail range, first range, and it'll work really, really well. So it's like instant speed on tap whenever you want it. Just saves you having to constantly gear shift and all the rest of it if you had say power quad or auto quad. Both gearboxes are good, you can't go wrong with each, and this just works really, really well on the baler. So we're coming up to making a bale now. Just slow it down though. Just slow it up. Net the bale. Works, like I say, awesome on the baler. Awesome. Today it's Wednesday and we're rowing up the silage which I cut on Monday, and it will be baled up tomorrow with a fent baler and carted back to the farm and then wrapped in the yard. So I am at the moment looking for another tractor. I'm going to go and look at another tractor tomorrow morning, which will hopefully, if it fits the bill, go on the wrapper, because we're still one tractor short for the wrapper and for a shore blower in the winter time. So I've rowed it up as best I can, half of this field. I'll do the other half today, and then once it's all done, like I say, we'll be in baling it. And hopefully, there's still a bit of silage to do at home, but that will be all of the silage done at the Broads for this year, which will be good. So can't wait to get this knocked on the head. The week of weather looks really, really good. So we've been quite lucky, really, even though we've had a little bit of bad weather these last couple of weeks with the rain. I'll come around and do a sweep around here, do all the headlands at the end. At the moment I'm just trying to knock the ups and downs off the list. Yeah, this gearbox is awesome. I thought Fent had the best gearbox, but actually when you set the auto power up properly, it's pretty damn good, especially with a straight pipe as well. all the best components of what a tractor should be, just put into one machine. Alright, well today it's Saturday, and as you can see we've been carting straw, and I'm making a stack at the top of the farm, and I've been using the front loader for the 6.9 on the bale cart. That bale fell down when I took the bale off. But anyway, the 6.930's on the bale cart, as you can see. I've got a couple of issues with this tractor. I've got some wing mirrors coming for it. There's a problem with the grommer seat, and the gas ram I've ordered, I've got that in the workshop. There's a few parts I've got for it which will be fixed. There's also an O-ring which has gone here on the front suspension, so that's got to be repaired. And on this one, on the 6R, the mirror's gone. I've got some bushings which I was supposed to turn up to repair that. Anyway, this is the stack. I managed to stack it pretty high considering I've got the front loader. It does go a fair way, that 663R loader, because it's the slightly larger front loader on the 6R, so it's a fair way up there. I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but that is the good thing, I guess, about having the front loader on the 6R. But really we should have a smaller loader tractor, but it does lift anything, this front loader. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's what I'm up to, and weather's been a bit on and off. It's been quite sunny, but yeah, later on this afternoon it has gone overcast and looks like it's going to rain. So there we go, that's what we're up to on Saturday. Alright, today it's Sunday, and we'll be back just cutting some straw today. You'll see just down here I've got a new topper in, which is a pasture topper from Cherry Products, and it's to put down the marshes, the broads, and we're going to top off, flail off the fields when beef cattle have been on the fields. So it's sort of a new idea, and we'll put it to work on a tractor. These tractors here are really too big for it, and I do need at some point to get a smaller tractor, because in the winter I've got a job for that one over there, the 6R. That will be doing a winter job, which I'll just show you, and that one is going to be doing another job on the muck carting, so and also on a straw blower. The other job I've got to do, which, you know, winter's a long time, and you know, we'll soon be in winter, and there's a good job I've got to do. So with winter around the corner, it's going to be a long old slog. I've been looking at, as you can see, McConnell hedge cutters, and I'm looking specifically, these ones I believe are the 65 series, thanks to Tom from Tuckwells for letting me know about these series. There's a 65T, which I quite like, and there's also a 65-67T, which is the newer model, which I also quite like. So I've had a couple of quotes. Let me know in the comments if these are good hedge cutters. The only other hedge cutter I've looked at was the Shelbourne Reynolds, which also looked quite a good hedge cutter. Some people like Shelbourne, some people like McConnell. Hedge cutter wars. But yeah, like I say, long winter, there's a lot of hedges to do around here, and I think it would be a really good job for the 6R, because it's got the panoramic windows, it's got the weight capacity, you know, it's a heavy, strong tractor, 6-cylinder tractor. It will be able to cope with the telescopic demands of a 65-67T, and that's what I'm after. So we will go and see one of these next week, and yeah, let me know about it in the comments. So at the moment, I'm really busy with harvest, and like I say, you know, winter's going to be a long slog, and I think the hedge cutter would be a really good tool to have, you know, to keep ourselves busy in the winter time. And also, you know, it's another thing which I can tick off the list from the contractors, and it will save the farm some money in the long run. I can also do the verges in the summertime, and if people want, you know, some hedges cutting on their farms or just in their garden or something like that on the side of a road, I could do that as well. So it opens a lot of doors. But I think, like all these things, you want to learn on the farm, get used to the machine, a bit like how I learnt with the baler this year, before you can then, you know, go and do it for other people.
And so I know a lot of you as well will be asking about Trevor. He's been away sick this week. I did see him yesterday, so we'll find out all about that next week. The mucking out has still got to be done. I've got a lot of margins and fields to flail mow off, and there's a lot of jobs to catch up on once I finish with harvest. And next week we'll be going to look at this hedge cutter. We'll be out with the pasture topper, the new one over the road, and we're also going to go and look at a new building which someone's put up. So lots to look forward to next week, and we'll finally catch up with Trev after, I think it's been 2 weeks now. But yeah, just a really busy time of the year, so just bear with me. So I'll catch you next week when we're up to all those things. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.